So I posted this about 10 minutes ago. Nobody but Bitcoin wizards going into the halving, and this is Zach Val, if you can't tell, one of the actual ordinals. I'm so happy I learned how to make these. Because guess what? We are 23 hours and 58 minutes from the halving. It's going to be happening tomorrow for the most part. Oh my gosh, it's 144 blocks left. It's my number. That wasn't planned. That's awesome. Yeah, this is a huge deal. And I'm going to go over some of the basics. There's a lot of people that don't really understand the halvings, and there's always these crazy media pieces about it. And I wanted to cover a lot of that today and why it is important. What's up, Keek? LD. Kimozabi, how you doing? What's going on? Now, the question is, why does everyone care about the halving? Happens every 4 years. What really goes on? Well, we want to talk about whales and market manipulation and everything else. The whales are fighting over Bitcoin supply. That's the truth. And behind that is the miners. Now, let me put it this way. Every Bitcoin that is tradable has been mined at some point, even all the way back to the original Satoshi wallet. That's how that happens. And you have to use computers to mine it. It's a long story. I don't have time to really get into all that. But this is what it kind of looks like at a commercial scale, a very, very, very large commercial scale. Regardless, these guys are in control of a lot of the price action. Not necessarily trading it, but they have to constantly offload the supply into what they're doing. And in 23 hours, we're going to have that big halving change. If you look here, this is the blockchain.com's hash rate explorer. You can actually see the hash rate over time, all the way back from like 2009, moving its way up with the price of Bitcoin. And this is basically showing you the amount of hash power, the computer power that they have going into the actual Bitcoin blockchain. Now, why does it matter, etc.? It matters a lot for a bunch of different reasons. If we go back and look at the original history of like Bitcoin going all the way back to like 2009, 2010, originally every single block, which this is the reason they call it blockchain, every 10 minutes the miners produce one block of Bitcoin. And way back when, it was 50 Bitcoin per block. After November 28th of 2012, they had their first halving, and it went to 25 Bitcoin per block. And then in July 9th, 2016, it went to 12.5. May 2020 went to 6.25, and we're about to get down to 3.125, so 3 1/8. Now, why does this matter? These guys are running, miners in general, always have expenses. They're always burning electricity. They're always running people, having to hire people to run all their equipment. And then the equipment over time, after each halving, becomes less productive. So the same Bitcoin miners that were getting 6.25 blocks every 10 minutes when they won, were now getting equivalent of half that at 3.125. So a lot of this equipment, and you remember in the original picture, all those little machines stacked up, these are what these things actually are. These are these in particular are the Bitmain versions. But as you can see, they're not cheap. So what happens when your money makers overnight produce 50% less Bitcoin? Well, supply on the market is obviously going to take a hit, but also their costs and fees are going to get hit, and you're going to see a lot of miners struggle. Albeit in the last bear market, we had a F ton of miners not make it. So hopefully it's not as Can you hear me now? Sorry, I must have bumped the mic. Are we good on mic? No sound, sir? It looks like it's live again. Yes. So, as I had said, the secret hash key to life was 43, and moving forward, now, this is kind of the cycles as you can see it kind of zoomed way out, and this is why it's important. Every halving is going to force supply crunch. A lot of the miners aren't going to make it. The miners' productions go down, and eventually the market slingshots into these crazy parabolic runs. It's done it every time since 2009. It's not that it's going to do it every time, but for the most part, we're betting on that it should and would, right? Or can. And so far, it's kind of already looking like we did, albeit we've hit all-time highs before the halving, which if you look in the past is not really something that's happened before. So kind of go back and look at the old YouTube videos where we talk about that, because we've never been done before area is literally where we're at on a lot of fronts. I'm going to drop the links in the chat. You can find the YouTube videos there where I talk about going off the maps, because the people that try to do precedence in like binary, as in like it 100% has to happen or 100% doesn't follow this rule, are losing a lot of money, because there's a lot of people that kept shorting this thinking that Bitcoin would never hit the all-time high before the halving, and it did. And that's unfortunate. So you have to, like, your theses need to be checked, that like you need to be cognizant in the moment that we're off the map. No matter what you do, we're off the freaking map. Which can be good, can be bad, but the thing is you just need to adjust like your probabilities. Nothing's absolute here. Bitcoin could go to 0 tomorrow, could go 200,000 tomorrow, whatever. We don't know. It's typically not going to happen, but crazier things have happened. You could look at FTT investors, Luna, etc. Go look at old tulip charts, for F's sakes. But the point is, this big day's coming. It's here, and it's affecting the markets on a lot of different ways. And this is what it actually looks like zoomed out. You want to see the actual like 10, 11 year, or is it 14 years? I don't even know now, of Bitcoin history. I can't even get it all on the screen. That's what it looks like, and that's kind of what these halvings are. And it's happening tomorrow. Now, typically in the past, we have seen these big pullbacks. When you zoom in here, it doesn't really look that bad, but this kind of pumped into the halving and nuked. The previous one over here, we had the COVID candle, big volatility moment. So this kind of goes back to the YouTube video with the black swan that I talked about. Like, everyone's predicting the black swan, and then like 2012, it didn't really pull back. But we have seen halvings that had big moments in them, and these, albeit while this looks very small, this is a very high percent down draw, which sucks, no matter how you spin it. So we still need to be cognizant, because we are at a very high altitude, and the trend has changed. The accumulation has been completed. We've come up on this huge run. We've come from like $15,000 all the way up to like $74,000 almost. Or did we actually hit 74? Maybe. And now we're kind of going sideways.